All right, my man. First off, bro, congratulations on a very successful first year at La Tech.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
What led you from Oklahoma to Louisiana?
Um, honestly, I just jumped in the portal, and I had, numerous schools hitting me, and I had like some JUCOs, and I thought about going the JUCO route just to, be able to go put up some numbers, but I didn't really feel like I needed to go to a JUCO to kind of get back on my feet where I needed to be, and so I don't know, it was between maybe like 5 schools. And, La Tech just I feel like they just stood out to me as far as, how they recruited and their aggressiveness with their approach. And, he just kind of told me, like, I can't promise you anything, but, I know what you're capable of. He explained the spots that were available. And, he was like, as long as you come in and work, which I know you will, then, you can get whatever you want. And so that was just really music to my ears. And so that's what kind of led me here.
No, for sure, bro. And the thing is, you guys had a great season last year. Do you feel
Yeah.
like it was your breakout year? Obviously, I know you feel like you have more to prove, but do you feel like last year was somewhat of a coming out party?
Uh, I think last year was just a chance to see, what I would really be able to do at the D1 level, considering I didn't get as much playing time at OU. But I don't think it was anything of a breakout. I think it was just an adjustment year to kind of get used to the flow of, like I said, D1, and just play with other great players and just see how I fit in this system.
Going from, you were a four-star recruit, you committed to University of Oklahoma, which is your home state. What was that transition like going from Oklahoma to Louisiana, just from a location standpoint?
So, I feel like that was pretty easy. I went to TSF in high school for 2 years, which that was in Atlanta. And so, going from being 16 years old and, leaving the house and just making a big jump to a new environment and a new place that was 12 hours away, I feel like that really kind of set me up for like any college I would go to. And luckily, I had a great summer. And so I was able to, choose from different colleges that would have been, probably the same distance, if not shorter. So me coming to Louisiana Tech, it was a lot easier just because, it's 5.5 hours, and Atlanta was 12 hours, and then OU was literally right down the street. Wow. And so I feel like I was already accustomed to it, and, I didn't really have any problems.
Man, you guys dropped a heartbreaker to Middle Tennessee State in the conference championship. 2-point loss. I know that was tough. Is that motivation for this season, bro, to kind of push past those kind of heartbreaking losses?
Yeah, I feel like games like that are definitely learning moments. Of course, we had a couple people go down that were, key pieces to our team. But I think, as far as what we showed, what we can do with, everything that we had, I think it was just kind of like a confidence booster to show everybody, like even without, a couple of our best players, like, we can still hang in any game and have a chance to win any game. And I think, personally, if you go back and watch the game, if we would have made free throws, I think the game would have had a drastic change.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it was anything negative. I think it was a more of a positive, if anything.
You guys had a 22-10 overall record, 12-4 conference play, right behind Sam Houston. What do you feel like will put you guys? What do you guys need to do to put you guys over that hump to not only win the conference championship but to go beyond that?
I think just not getting comfortable. I think that was our biggest thing last year. We had a really great start to our season, and we came back, and I feel like it was just a change of scenery for the team, and I think just not letting up off the gas pedal like we did at the beginning, just keeping that chip on our shoulder. We were projected number one in our league to win, and so going into every game, we knew we had a target on our back. And, we had a dog mentality for, a good portion of the beginning part of our season. And, I think we got very comfortable in what we were doing, and people took advantage of it. And like I said, I think that's another learning and growth moment that, we can take from our last season and just apply it to this season.
How do you apply that chip on your shoulder from last season to this season without playing too emotional and getting too wrapped up into the, I guess you could say, underdog mentality or just having a chip on your shoulder? How do you play within yourself, but everything you just said come to fruition?
I think just stick to what Coach Hess teaches us and what we practice within our system, which is just, defense, aggression, and, just playing together. I feel like we did that amazingly last year. We had one of the best point guards in the nation, and so I think he did a good job of, getting everyone involved every game. And I think we just had like a lot of great pieces. I think we have a lot of great pieces this year, and so I think as long as we just focus on our defensive aspect, it'll make everything flow, how we want to.
You're known for your defensive prowess, man, which is somewhat rare in today's game when everything's about scoring and being on the highlights. But you do pride yourself on defense, man. Where does that come from? Where does that kind of dog defense mentality come from in you?
I think coming out of Ada, Oklahoma, I was always one of the best players on my team, if not the best. And so, once you get to the AAU level and you're playing against a bunch of ranked guys, and also playing with ranked guys on your team, it's kind of like they say, like when you get to the NBA, you have to find something that separates you. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like I've always been known for playing hard and just, being a dog in anything I do. And so I found defense to just kind of come natural for me. And so I feel like that was my niche to kind of separate myself. And just from a mentality standpoint, I think of defense as offense. Like if you can get somebody out of their game and kind of dictate what they do while they have the ball, I feel like that's more diminishing than, going out and scoring 30. I feel like any team would be grateful and would love to have a guy like that on their team.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Do you feel like you found your fit within Louisiana Tech system, or is that something you still navigating?
Nah, I think our system is great, especially last year. I feel like I was a great glue guy. Coach always says, board man gets paid. And, of course, we had multiple scorers. And so I feel like I can score the ball just as well as anybody else. But I've never really cared for, having the spotlight or going out and dropping 20. And so, I enjoy doing the dirty work. And I feel like that fits me well. I feel like once you make it to the next level past college, wherever that's at, there's always going to be other scorers or people getting paid to dribble the ball and do all the fun stuff. But I feel like once you can, like I said, find joy in doing the dirty work and things that people don't like, I feel like you can fit it in any system. And I feel like, I just take a lot of pride in that, and it's gotten me a long way.
I saw what an OU insider called your transfer rock bottom for Oklahoma hoops. When you hear things like that, obviously you don't have any ill will towards Oklahoma, but it's got to be a confidence boost knowing that, if nothing else, your potential was highlighted and seen.
Yeah, for sure. Once I transferred, I never really focused on OU. Mm-hmm. I like to think everything happens for a reason. I think, being at OU my freshman year was a big learning lesson for me, and I was able to still develop and grow and see the game from a different perspective, which I think is big for a lot of people. But I just saw coming to Louisiana Tech as an opportunity to show people what I'm really capable of, and to just show that, I can hang and be just as good as anybody at this level and just showcase my talents at the same time.
Man, 3 words I always see when others are describing you is upside, explosiveness, and potential. How do you describe yourself as a hooper?
I describe myself as gritty, hardworking, and just a dog. I love the game of basketball. I play at 1 a.m. or 6 a.m. I play all day if I can. And I feel like every time I go on the court, I show that. I play with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and I don't mind chatting at the other team a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you watch any of our games, you'll definitely be able to see that. And I think just being a two-way like I am, it gives me a chance to really bring that side out of me. And I think Coach Hess lets me be myself on the floor, which I'm very grateful for. And I let that carry me wherever I go.
Without a doubt, man. Before I let you go, Kaden, bro, what are the goals, personal and team wise? What do you feel like you guys need to be heading into the season?
I feel like we need to just be locked in and focused on what makes us good as a team. My personal goals are just to be the best leader that we have on the team, and to just as a junior now, to just guide our young guys in the right direction and just kind of show them a system that I've already been accustomed to, and just kind of help them so that we can go through season and just be a unit. I feel like that's the best way a team can be successful, is having good chemistry and everybody just being on one page. And so that's really just been my main focus, other than working on my own development. But I think that will also benefit the team. But really just focusing on everybody as a whole, and making sure that we have the best chance to win the league and hopefully win the conference championship.
Okay, man, we happy to have you here in Louisiana, brother. I can't wait to see how the season plays out for you, and definitely can't wait to check you out this year, man. Anything you want to say before I let you go, brother?
Nah, man, I appreciate it. Appreciate you, having me on this interview. I enjoyed answering your questions, and I'm excited to show you what the Dogs are about this season.
Can't wait, brother.